What is up, people? Once again, time for Funko News. Like I always say, I've been reminding you all, do make sure that you drop a like on this video, share the video, whatever it takes, help get the word out to people what's going on with Funko. Like I said, this is a weekly feature on my channel. Videos are always up at the end of the week. It can be anywhere from late Friday to sometimes Sunday morning is when it ends up dropping. It really depends on how much news there is, how much I have going on in my personal life, as always, but also it's always at the end of the week. So yeah, definitely put a lot of work into this. So always remember, give me a like, let me know that you're enjoying the Funko News videos. And one more thing I gotta say before we get to the actual news. I know that sometimes some of the information I share is way ahead of when the figures actually come out. So if you got to make yourself some notes or whatever it may be, I really do want you to keep the things in mind that you're interested in. And I've had a lot of friends lately that have asked me about things, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, I know that I covered that on my Funko News, but I'm pretty sure that and I'm kind of teasing them here, but yeah, I'm pretty sure that they can forget just because there is such a time gap. So yeah, just do that. It's something that I do myself. I will sometimes make notes in my actual phone, in my cell phone, to just keep me on track with things that I'm interested in and when they may be available. So I'm saying that, for your own benefit, to kind of help you out. I don't mind reminding people. I'm cool with that. But yeah, just to help keep yourself on track. Also, you might want to jot some notes if you see anything that you're interested in. Okay, one more quick heads up before we get to the news. Not going to be a ton this week, and I'm pretty sure that is because of the Star Wars celebration that has been Funko's main focus this week. Cam and Yoko down there in Florida. So, yeah, not a ton this week, but let's go ahead and get into what news actually is available. So, gotta remind you all, don't forget about this opportunity. I still have at least a week left. Well, really at this point, it's just under a week left on my Disney giveaway. Now, like I've said before, don't let the word Diehard scare you away. It's just that I do want this to go to somebody that really does appreciate Disney, but I'm not going to get all into the details of that. Check for the link down in the description. You go to the video, see what's up, what you need to do in order to be involved in this giveaway. And I got to tell you, the prize box that I'm putting together, I think is very cool. There are several items in there, including one that I have shared in a previous video. So if you're if you really love Disney, don't pass up this opportunity. Great prizes, like I said. So getting into the actual news of what is new this week. Okay, first of all, with the Funko shop on Wednesday, which is the day when they normally do drop a new figure, they actually released this Jungle Batman figure. And pretty big number. I mean, it's a certain number of pieces for it, like most figures on the Funko shop, but 10,000, that's a huge number. And I think that's part of the reason why this figure is still available, at least at the time of this recording. And the price is $14.99. That's pretty typical for a limited figure like this. But another reason I think that it's still available is because so many people are focusing on the Star Wars Celebrations figures. And then also some people just may not be that interested in this figure, even though it does have some roots in an old comic, which you see there on the right hand side. And Funko even made sure they pointed this out on the Funko shop, that this does come from an actual comic. It's not something they just threw out of nowhere. Now, for me, I feel like there's a big disconnect between the head of the figure and the body. They don't really read as one figure in my mind. When I look at it, it just feels so disjointed. I think one thing they could have done to help out with that is if you look at the comic there, the image at the top, there is some sort of blue that was mixed into the figure or into the actual character within the comic. And I think that's to help it kind of connect more with his cowl. So I feel like they probably should have done that with the figure too. Just mix the little blue in there to give it more of that kind of comic styling to it. And maybe that would make it feel more like a, cohesive figure. But for me, it just feels kind of disconnected. I'm not knocking anybody that picked this one up. But obviously, Funko is not going to stop giving us more and more Batman. They're digging through the crates of old Batman comics. So that got me to thinking, there is a storyline that happened a couple of years ago, Final Crisis, in which it seemed as if Batman had died. Okay, notice I'm saying it seems as if he had died. That's what people were led to believe initially. But of course, Batman is too big of a character to stay out of comics for long. So he was apparently killed by Darkseid, but then they changed things up to where what Darkseid actually did is something happened to Batman where he got caught up in the time stream. So he was blasted back to the past, and it's like he had to kind of work his way back up to the present. I don't know exactly how that all worked because I didn't really read this storyline. I was just kind of hearing the bits and pieces of it as the storyline played out, and maybe someday I will read a collected edition of it. But just some of the images of these different versions of Batman throughout time got me to thinking that these would make some very cool Batman pop figures. So, for example here, he started off all the way back at the dawn of man, and you see there on the left hand side a very primal looking Batman. He even has like a giant bat's head on top of his own head there. So that could be one of the pop figures. Here in the middle there's basically a Puritan form of Batman, and he even has that hat, you know, that sort of pilgrim style hat going on. That's pretty cool. One that's definitely cool there is on the right hand side, that pirate Batman, which even has the beard going on. He's like kind of a cross between Batman and Blackbeard, so that one is definitely very cool. Keeping it moving forward here, another one that would be very awesome is a Wild West version of Batman. I really do like the way that they designed him there, because he sort of has that big trench coat styling, but it's still very much true to like his cape as well. Now, the one here in the middle is a very Norrish looking Batman, so I don't know if they would actually do that one, because DC Bombshells, the actual comics, does have a version of Batman that looks similar to that. So if we're going to get a Batman that looks more like a Norrish detective, that's the line where it would probably show up. And then of course on the right there is just where Batman actually finally did make his way back, you know, to the present. At least that's what I'm assuming there. That still may have not been quite all the way caught up, but it looks like a Batman we're familiar with. So I would say out of this comic series, there are at least 4 very cool pop figures that they could give us. Definitely want to hear from you all what you think about this being source material for some cool pop figures. I really think it would be awesome. Okay, and then another idea that crossed my mind, I think it would be very awesome, and again, this is another comic I haven't read, but I've seen the imagery and I've seen some statues and some other figures, but I think it would be cool to have a pop of Vampire Batman. And I mean, there's so many horror fans out there, and if they drop this around around Halloween, yeah, that would be very cool as well, especially if they did the long ears, you know, and just really make it look kind of creepy, really go for it with it. I think that'd be a cool pop figure as well. So these ideas cross my mind just because I know they're not going to stop doing Batman, so they might as well try to give us some really cool ones. And I definitely want to hear your feedback on that. Sorry I veered so far off of the news, but these are ideas I just had to share with you all. So let me get back on track here. So of course, the big focus of this week again is Star Wars Celebration, the shared exclusives. So and I know there's been a lot of triumphs for some of you out there, and there's been a lot of aggravation for some of you out there. And believe me, I understand the aggravation. I definitely get it. There was a last switch up. I thought that I got some misinformation, but I didn't. Princess Leia, or Hoth Leia, originally was going to go to Hot Topic, and I saw this officially that they were initially, that's where the figure was going to go, but there was a last minute change. They did move her over to Box Lunch. And I didn't even know that Box Lunch is actually considered, I guess, like a sister store to Hot Topic. Again, like I said, just something I didn't know, but that's why she ended up there. Big mistake in my opinion, because Box Lunch seems to be very regional. There are a lot of areas of the country that just don't have it. So, yeah, I know a lot of people were not happy about that, and already, of course, that figure is being flipped. You know, Qui-Gon Jinn, I'll definitely talk some more about him in a moment. Let me go ahead and point this out, though, that if you're hunting for these figures, most of these you're going to have to either, I hate to say it, but you might have to go second market, or you might just have to go ahead and step into a store, you know, and try your luck there, because most of these are no longer available online. You see the X's here, and this is at the time of this recording. Now, I don't know if any will be put back up but at the time of this recording, the figures with the red X's are not available online. So Hot Topic, I checked, they still have their exclusives. Again, I'm saying the time of this recording because, you know, at any minute, any hour, they could run out. Who knows? So they do have the action pose Han Solo and the Chopper, the sort of black, red, and white version. Those are still up. Amazon, which definitely got the short end of the stick out of all these figures. They still had the plushies up, available for pre-order. They're not actually out right now, but they have it listed for pre-order still. Box Lunch also got the mini Hakaris of Greedo. And remember, there's two different 2-packs with different colors going on. So the other 2-pack, I want to say, is the one that has the, I want to say blue and gold. I think it's blue and gold. Okay, so, and maybe I'm mistaken on that. It's kind of hard to tell. These colors do look very close together, but I know there are two 2-packs of the mini Hakari of Greedo. So they still had those available online as well. Now, the figure that most of my subscribers asked me about out of all these figures, at first it was Qui-Gon Jinn. Then I had a lot of people asking about Garandon, and I think that's because he just wasn't being listed. Nobody knew what was going on with him. But at the time of this recording, let me stress that again, at the time of this recording, he was showing it still available on Walgreens website. And I don't know what the status is in the stores, how many people have actually found him there, or if he has actually been there. But like I said, at the time of this recording, he was still available online. So, you can check that out and try your luck there if you're strongly interested. If not there, then I guess you will just have to check in stores. Now, I said I was going to talk some more about Qui-Gon Jinn. So, big shout out to Stretch3420, one of my subscribers, or at least I think he's a subscriber. I know he's been commenting on vids. He actually did drop a number here that you could look up to see if Qui-Gon Jinn is available in Target. And then I had another subscriber, Michael Crowthers, who has been a subscriber, a long time. Really appreciate him as a subscriber. He gave me a number as well. These numbers were very close. They're just off by 1 digit. So, and I tried to look it up, but I feel like I was taken to the wrong website for some reason, because I didn't get anything with either number. But if you look it up and the first number doesn't work out, try the second one, and one of these should work as far as I know. And again, big shout out to both of those guys for trying to help out the community to find Qui-Gon Jinn. And there's also a SKU here that Stretch3420 gave us as well for Rey with the speeder, because like I showed you already, she's gone online, so you're gonna have to look around in stores for her, or go secondhand market. But I'm telling you, I started to share some images from eBay, but they're just too sickening, really. Qui-Gon Jinn, just to tell you, I've seen him listed anywhere from around like $50 on the low end to like 120 on the high end. I mean, it is ridiculous. Excuse me, actually 150 on the high end. So it's ridiculous. And there was even one image I saw on eBay, a guy that actually was holding the box up to take a picture of it for eBay, and you could still see the Target store in the background. This guy couldn't even wait till he got home to try to flip that figure. So, like I said, collectors out there, I definitely understand your frustration, especially after what happened with the original Qui-Gon Jinn last year, with them producing only 500 specifically for the New York convention, and convention only. That was ridiculous. So yeah, they're kind of doing Star Wars fans dirty with Qui-Gon Jinn. I don't know what that's about. And also, I definitely got to point out that Target has once again dropped the ball, because this figure officially is supposed to be out on the 17th. The date got pushed back, so officially it's supposed to be out on the 17th, but a lot of people are getting it already because stores are putting it out. And they're putting it out with apparently not putting a limit on it, at least in some of the stores. So some people are going in there, grabbing up all of them, and of course, flipping them. So yeah, it's a shame. Target has got to get it together, or Funko has to do something about this, because it is a shame that this keeps happening, and it's especially when you have employees that take figures or hold them for friends and play dumb when people come in looking for them, and sometimes even get an attitude if you come in looking for a figure, which makes it so obvious that they're in the know and trying to keep it for themselves or for friends, whatever it may be. Something really needs to be done about that, because it's just ridiculous. And Target in general, I've shared some images of Target before on my channel. Like the pop section just looks horrible, absolutely horrible. And I don't mean just the selection, I mean the way that it's kept up or not kept up. It just looks horrendous on a consistent basis. So I don't even understand why Funko would give Target major exclusives. I don't think they deserve it, because they apparently don't even really respect the product. That's my own opinion about it. Let me hop off my soapbox though. So again, like I said, with Qui-Gon Jinn, Raywood Speeder, you know, you can keep checking online, but I would say I really doubt these will be relisted. I think you were gonna have to kind of get out there and hunt, and who knows, it may be in your area. And don't procrastinate. Even though you know, with Qui-Gon Jinn, they're saying the 17th, get out there and look, especially if your Target is open at a time that you're available. Get out there and look. You don't see it on the shelf, ask a worker. They want to be lazy, ask another worker. Do what you got to do to try to track these figures down. Enough about that. Let me go on and keep things moving. So you saw this screen. If you checked out the last Funko news, you saw this before. I said that there's going to be a Finn Balor, which it seems like the latest wave of WWE figures should be out by the end of this month. Okay, so Finn Balor is on the way, and then they also had the Chase version of him, the Demon King version without the headdress. So of course I speculated that the FYE version that is available for pre-order, I speculated that it's got to be the Demon King version with the headdress that he wears during his entrance, and it turns out, yeah, that's what it is. So this is available right now for pre-order with FYE. If you're interested, again, don't procrastinate on that, and good luck to every one of you that's going to actually look for that Chase figure as well. So sticking here with WWE, I already shared the pop figures that you see here: Goldberg, AJ Styles, Mick Foley. Reminding you again, these should be available by the end of the month, and then unless there's some pushback. But also they are going to have pint-sized heroes as well, and I do like that they have a good mix of wrestlers there. They got some that are still in the business right now, you know, still at it, and then they got some you know, some legends as well. I mean, they got Macho Man, I see Ultimate Warrior there. And now, you know, The Undertaker, who has retired, and big props to Undertaker, who provided entertainment for so long in the business. I really do hope that WWE has done well by him. You know, he's financially set and he can just go enjoy himself. I would prefer not to see him come back to the ring, because I did see the highlights of WWE and of WrestleMania, you know, with WWE, and that was a rough match. I just don't want him to come back and hurt himself. I mean, he's done more than enough. You know, he's a legend in the game. That's all there is to it. So I don't want him to be yet another athlete that continues way past his prime and get seriously injured. I really don't want to see that. You know, and I have a lot of nostalgia for Undertaker, because I remember watching him, you know, when I was a kid. So I haven't been into wrestling a whole lot, but yeah, I really hope he goes and takes it easy, you know. So yeah, you know, enough about that. I'm sure some of you feel the same way though, that Undertaker, he's really done his time, and it's time for him to just enjoy life, you know, beyond the ring. Okay, so yet another image that I shared with y'all before was Blackfire, which is a Toys R Us exclusive. Again, this should be out by the end of the month, but somebody also shared online the back of the box. So the character Tara from Teen Titans is also going to be a pop figure. I don't know for sure, but I'm gonna assume maybe another Toys R Us exclusive, because she's on the back of the box with Blackfire, obviously, because that's the back of Blackfire's box, and Jinx as well. So Jinx is actually a Toys R Us exclusive that's already available. So yeah, I'm assuming that Tara's probably going to end up being Toys R Us exclusive as well. Don't know that 100% for sure. I will keep you updated as we actually get an image of the pop itself. Okay, so sticking here with the comic book focus, BAM, right now, Books A Million, they do have this Batgirl figure available for, I want to say pre-order, or actually it might be available right now. I want to say it's actually available to go ahead and get shipped to you. So yeah, just check out their website and see what's going on with it. When I saw this figure, I was like, this looks very familiar. And what it is that this figure is very close to the specialty series Batgirl that just came out. The only difference I see is that, of course, the face mask is a darker color, that dark gray, and then the on the body they went with the darker gray as well, and they changed the color of the gloves. So just a few changes with the coloring, not even really major changes. I mean, if you just glance at these two, they look very similar. So I guess it just comes down to personal preference. I don't really know if you would need both of these. You know, that's up to you, though. You know what you want. But yeah, I definitely feel like they could have done something more interesting with the BAM exclusive, because I mean the specialty series exclusive has already been out for a little bit. But you know, it is what it is. That happens sometimes with Funko. Now, for weeks there have been Clone Trooper, Snow Trooper, Captain Phasma. You know, it's been weeks and weeks of Hakari. Last week there wasn't a Hakari of the week, but now during Star Wars Celebration, the Hakari of the week is Deep Blue Huckleberry Hound. Really, Funko? Like, what? Like, so this kind of threw me off. I was like, really? They wait until the week of Star Wars Celebration, drop all the Star Wars Hakari figures, and let's go with Huckleberry Hound. But okay, you know, it is what it is. This is a June release. 750 pieces. I've said this many times before, they do have these on different websites, but I tend to see them on Entertainment Earth pretty consistently. So yeah, if you're a Hakari collector, you can check out there, and if you don't see them, check out some other websites. As a matter of fact, I'll talk about some sites some more in just a moment here. Okay, Stranger Things, they have a lot of pop figures out there. The only one that I wanted was Demogorgon, and I got Demogorgon, so I'm good. But the Pocket Pops are on the way as well. I didn't see a specific date to these. I think they will be out fairly soon, though. So you see they have 11 with the Eggos, of course. They got the Demogorgon, they got Dustin, and they got Barb. So it seems like they really did try to focus on the most popular characters. Me personally, I'm okay with the Pocket Pops. I don't collect them. I actually do have one that I use right now, Harley Quinn one. She is getting a little worn out, so I am going to have to switch that up. So I could see myself keeping like 2 or 3 Pocket Pops on hand at a time. I don't really look at them so much as collectibles, though. But yeah, if you're tight on money, I guess, and you just want a little quick collectible, then I think they are pretty cool. And it is kind of cool how they do look exactly like the Pops, but just shrunk down. Next up here, we got some Dorbs. And by the way, there should be a lot of Dorbs dropping right now, because I saw a GameStop list. A lot of the Dorbs that I've covered in previous weeks, it seems like they are starting to show up, including the Inside Out Dorbs, the Looney Tunes Dorbs. You know, there's some other ones. You can look back at Funko News and check that out. But yeah, getting to these here, the Planet of the Apes Dorbs. This is obviously based off of the original movie series. And I'm not going to run through each individual figure, but you do see here that they have a Chase figure in the mix of George Taylor, and it's him in his astronaut suit. So yeah, when you're out hunting, like I've said this before, the Chase boxes very often look similar. I mean, they look exactly the same as the common box if you're looking from certain angles. So when you're rifling through boxes, make sure you really take the time to check all of them, because you could easily overlook a Chase figure if you're not careful. So like I said, really look through when you're out there looking for Chase figures. Next up here, series I'm not really familiar with, Attack on Titan. And honestly, when I saw these Titans, I was a little grossed out, you know, but it is what it is. I've heard a lot of praise about the series. I just haven't gotten into it myself. And you know, especially since I don't think it's dubbed. I want to say it's on Netflix, but I don't think they have a dubbed version. Maybe I'm incorrect. I feel like it was subtitled, and I got to be really interested in something if I'm going to check it out with subtitles. But yeah, enough about that. You know, here are the figures that are on the way. Again, I'm not going to run through all these. Those of you that are a big fan of the series, I'm pretty sure you know who you're looking at. Here you see they have 2 Pocket Pop versions as well of the human characters there. And I did share with you all last time, and I just wanted to make sure I shared them again as well, that Cleaning Levi figure, which seems like it's going to be a Hot Topic exclusive since they did share it on their Periscope. I'm assuming that's where Cleaning Levi will be, and these are right now showing up to be a June release. And there are more Borderlands figures on the way. We got Emperor Claptrap. There are a lot of Claptrap figures out there, it seems like. But I think this is one of the more interesting looking ones. I do like him with that sort of Napoleon style hat on and, you know, like the military style. And then they also have here Tiny Tina, which I'm not a Borderlands fan. Nothing against the series, but I just don't really know much about it. I think I tried the first game a little bit, and maybe I should have given it more of a try, because I know a lot of people are big fans of it. But yeah, I like her design. That's a cute design. She has a lot going on with the sculpt. So yeah, if you've been really collecting Borderlands, you could be on the lookout for these figures. I did not see a specific release window for these, but if I learn anything, then I'll give you an update pretty soon. Lord of the Rings, they got more figures on the way, and I gotta say, this is an impressive looking wave here. Very impressive. And you know, if you love Lord of the Rings, I think you're gonna really want these. Now, I already had a Frodo up there and then the Frodo chase figure, but I wanted to make sure I included a larger image of the chase as well, because I think that chase figure looks pretty awesome. And I like that it's you know, of course, a lot of it is very similar to the common, but I think they did enough to it where it really does stand apart. And I think that'd be a pretty awesome chase figure for any fan of Lord of the Rings to have. I also really like that in this wave they had the Balrog, the 6-inch Balrog. That was one of my favorite moments from the first movie. I thought that Balrog looked incredible, and I really like Gandalf's, you know, showdown with it. Even though it was kind of brief, I still really like that. So yeah, like I said, I think this is just an awesome looking wave here. And then the and people, please forgive me because I'm not the biggest, like, you know, Tolkien fan. I think it says Nazgul or Nazgul, however you say that. Again, I like those characters as well. Very creepy. So yeah, again, this is just an excellent wave, and I know a lot of Lord of the Rings fans should be happy about these, especially since some of the original characters that were produced by Funko, you know, they're way up in price, very difficult to get now. So these are already available for pre-order, but they have a June release on them. Now, one question that I get asked a lot is, where can I pre-order this? Where can I pre-order this? You know, and I understand it, people, and I don't want to keep shouting out like major websites. It's not like they pay me anyway, you know, but I mean, you know, of course there are websites where you can find figures. Like, we all know, like, you can go to Hot Topic online and the prices are usually lower. You know, I've talked about Entertainment Earth, which I think is pretty cool. Although with Entertainment Earth, when you pre-order, you do have to keep track of it because they don't charge you until the figure is actually ready to ship. So if you don't keep up with it, you can get surprised by your bank account. So you really do have to keep up with it. But for right now, I do want to shout out some other websites here because they're doing something that a lot of major websites aren't. What they're doing here, you see it here, it says here, these are online sites that offer Funko bundles with chase figures. So for example, you just saw those Lord of the Rings figures there. Now, minus the pocket pops, you can actually go to some of these sites and you can get all of those figures together, including the chase, at a pretty reasonable price. Now, obviously you pay a little bit more because the chase is included, but it's nowhere as much as you would pay, you know, if you were getting it from a flipper, basically, you know, somebody selling it secondhand. So I'm just going to run through these sites real quick, and I am going to put a link to each one of these down in the comments. So, and you also might want to kind of earmark this video, keep this video in mind when you're wondering where can you go and find a good bundle of a wave that you're interested in. You know, come back to this video and I'll have all these sites linked down. So there's the Big 3 Collectibles. I learned about this site from Gigi of Gigi's Geek Zone. I know she shops with them a lot and really she praises them a lot. And I've checked out this site. Definitely some good deals on there. And then KT Toy Company, LDW Collectibles, Popular Collectibles, Saturday Mornings, and Ferrara Market Incorporated. And by the way, Ferrara, something that I know that site has done sometimes is put together some, I believe, like mystery boxes, and they had a lot of value in them. I mean, a lot of value in them. Pretty impressive there. So, and I'm not sure if they're still doing that or not. I have to check out the site to be sure. But like I said, I've seen some unboxings of those and I was highly impressed. Even saw people get chase figures out of those boxes. So I actually hope they're still doing it because I want to get one myself at some point. And by the way, I learned about these last 5 sites thanks to Nerdy Adult Collectors Unscripted, which is a Facebook group. I've mentioned this group before recently. This is a group that is run by Robin's Nest, who has a YouTube channel. They haven't really been using it. They've been talking about possibly getting back into it, but they got a lot going on with Nerdy Adult Collectors Unscripted. It is a secret group, so you kind of got to know somebody, you know, to get into the group. But you know, if you have a Facebook friend in the group or you're interested, you know, you can check with somebody that's a member. I'm a member myself, of course. And yeah, I think it's a really cool group. It really helps to keep me on track with what's going on. There are even some times when I get a little bit of Funko news from there and I include it for you all. And like I said, I learned about all these sites thanks to that group. And these groups, these websites sometimes do promote within that group. So pretty cool. And I like that these sites seem to be run by true collectors. I mean, they really know Funko Pops. They collect themselves. So I feel like if you can go to these sites instead of always going to a big company, you know, that's a pretty cool thing to do. So please check these sites out. Take the time, run through. You can kind of compare, you know, see what you like, see what kind of deals they got going on. And yeah, like I said, just keep this video in mind because I am going to have those links in the description for you. So when you're wondering, where do I go to pre-order? Where do I go to get a bundle? Now you know. So quick spoiler alert here, getting close to wrapping things up, but I definitely want to talk about the next Smuggler's Bounty box, which we know now Funko doesn't mind spoiling things, but and I have a, you know, sinking suspicion that they're going to do like they've been doing, and at some point what I'm about to show you will actually be on the Smuggler's Bounty site. But if you don't want to know for now, this would be the time to check out. And one thing you should already know is that the next Star Wars Smuggler's Bounty box is focusing on the 40th anniversary of A New Hope, you know, the first Star Wars movie. So last chance, people. If you don't want to know one thing that's going to be included in the box, this is the time to check out. But I think Funko has really been spoiling things to the point where you're going to see this at some point before you actually get the box. But here we go. So Cameron and Yoko actually shared this while they were down there at the Star Wars celebrations. There is going to be what they call a deluxe figure here. They're not calling it a pop ride. They're calling it a you know, deluxe vinyl, whatever it may be. Okay, they have Luke Skywalker with the speeder. Pretty cool. I keep saying Smuggler's Bounty is just the most value for your money when it comes to these Funko boxes. I really wish the other boxes would step it up because I've been consistently impressed by what they get in the Smuggler's Bounty boxes. I'm not a big enough Star Wars fan to subscribe to it, but it's like, come on, it's just they really make the other boxes look bad. So, you know, earlier this year they got the Hoth, I'm trying to remember, Hoth Han Solo with the Tauntaun up here, you know, Luke with this speeder. Very impressive. That's all I can say about it. Okay, gotta remind you again real quick, don't forget about the Disney giveaway. Even if you're not interested in yourself, do make sure that you spread the word. Right now, I think I only have like 3 entries, and I got a lot of subscribers. I know there's a lot more Disney fans out there, so please, you know, don't procrastinate if you're interested yourself. Down to just a couple of days on this, you know, so again, don't procrastinate. But yeah, that's going to wrap it up for Funko News. Even though I know there weren't a ton of new figures this week, I had, you know, some ideas, some thoughts I wanted to share with you all. So hope you don't mind. You know, I just got to do that sometimes. But yeah, I hope you appreciated the video. Please don't forget to like it. Don't forget to comment. I always love the comments. You know, I try to respond back as much as I can. Share the video as well, spread the word, help out the community, and you know, definitely if you have some information that I didn't share, make sure you drop it in the comments. And those of you that comment on my videos, make sure you come back sometime and check the comment section, because I'm telling you, some of my subscribers are just so awesome. They really do try to help out the community. They've been putting down some great information in the comments, so do make sure after you check it out, come back and see what they have to say. Or if you're seeing the video a little bit late, scroll through the comments and see what people are talking about, because it could really help you out. But yeah, that's it for this week. And plenty more content coming up on my channel, of course. Make sure you check out my other videos as well. Talk to you all again real soon.